Welcome to Studio Chatter. It's good to be back together again. And we're almost into spring. Can you believe it?
Was it just Christmas yesterday?
And it still feels like it's winter, but then the next day spring.
It's second winter. We know this.
It's not spring yet, but in a blink of an eye it will be.
It does feel good when it's 6 o'clock and it's still light out. And then I think while this airs daylight savings time, so we're gonna get more of the feels of spring.
We're trying to transition.
And you both look, you're in your green, you're ready for March.
We're springing into it, right?
Yeah.
We're ready.
For March.
Yes.
We're getting ready for Fiesta days.
Well, there you go.
We're already there.
Hey, last time when we left, I challenged whoever could go. I know you were not here, but we got gift certificates to Soul Reflexology. And Angie and I were both able to go. So
Did you go together?
No.
That was the plan.
Oh yeah, we went
The
without
plan
you.
was for us to all go, and then I was like, I'm gonna go and I'll go again with those two.
Yes.
But I was a little bit nervous. I didn't know what to expect.
I was too.
Right? And then I did it. I ended up doing the 60-minute, and then I added on Moroccan oil and CBD, and it was like really amazing. I loved it.
They didn't offer me like any add-ons.
Oh, I did it online when I booked, and so you could add on different things that you wanted to.
I stopped by and booked. So,
okay.
And they were running, one cool thing, like customer service, they were running about 15 minutes late.
Okay.
So when I left, they gave me a 30% discount and apologized. Like, my best customer service,
Huge.
but it was amazing.
Okay.
It truly was.
You're sitting in a chair and they lean you back and you get in a 60-minute, your forearms, your hands, neck, shoulders, scalp.
Did you wear your regular clothes, or they said that I could wear scrubs?
I wish I would have booked online, because when I booked in person, they didn't tell me, and I'm like, oh, I need to get my jeans up to my knees, because then they massage your calves.
And like I was wearing an outfit that I could have, but it was like a more, I don't know, tight, but they have scrubs. And so I would highly suggest that, like wearing a t-shirt or scrubs or something, because they use oils too.
Oh, okay.
So I highly recommend it. I think I'm going to be giving gift cards this year.
Me too.
Like it was wonderful. I think their times are like 30, 60, 90. I loved the 60.
I could have done the 90.
I could have done 90 for sure.
I really could have, because I finally got into a Zen moment, and then I was like, oh, I know it's coming to an end. But they do full body massages too.
Yes.
My massage therapist did that. But I love, like, when you get there, it's like there's a door, and then she's like, hey, she comes out and greets you, and then she's like, when you pass through this door, it's like the quiet zone.
So it wouldn't even really be worth going together at all.
No.
Because you're in your own little
I actually kind of love that.
Nope.
It
you
was
wouldn't see each other.
Relaxing. And I felt so good. She's like, we moved a lot of energy through you. So
Did you go? Have you?
No, I've not had a chance to go. So we had the long January and now the very short January or February. I feel like everything that I'm like in full throttle mode right now. So I've been running to all the places. Just drove back from California yesterday. So we are in full mom. There was soccer tournament going on in St. George. We had Disney dance competition going on at Disneyland. We had Miss Utah's Outstanding Teen attending. Went to Cougarettes. I mean, there was just so many things going on. It's just been like running, and we're taking a breath, and we're moving into March.
Well, and then you just have a busy weekend with your daughter's birthday, and pageants, and more dance recitals.
And
busy.
And really quick, I went to Deeply Rooted. They had one of their wellness nights.
Oh yeah.
And guys, it was so awesome.
Okay.
Yep,
so
they had someone talk about food, and then we did the sound bath, and then they opened up the stores for people to shop. People need to go up there. It's cool.
Awesome. Like support local things. There's so many cool things going on.
Yeah.
Love
Yep.
that.
Yeah. Angela, really quick, give us a tidbit. Where have you been?
So, Spanish Fork won state in wrestling.
Oh yes! Congratulations to the Oilers.
Well, kind of. My son qualified for state. It was his first year qualifying, and they disqualified him as soon as he got there because he had. So wrestlers get skin diseases really easy from the mats, and it popped up that morning, just this little teeny tiny dot. He was devastated.
Oh, you are
That's
kidding!
horrible.
I did not know that.
It was so sad. So
Because isn't he a sophomore?
yes.
Oh,
darn.
but he qualified.
He
That's
literally
awesome.
started wrestling last year, you guys. So for him to qualify, like this was his goal. He made it his goal. He qualified. He worked so hard, and he gets there and they skin check him. before they even weigh them in, and then they're like,
That's
"You're
super
disqualified."
interesting.
So hard. So now we know for
will
next
do
year we're
things
gonna do
different. Next year.
Yep, antibiotic the whole year.
Right?
Good for the team.
But the
Yeah,
team
the
won,
team won.
despite being like Box Elder. It's always up against Box Elder, and they had more people qualify than Spanish Fork, and we still beat them.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Congratulations, Dawn.
Yeah,
Yep.
so exciting.
I stopped by the Spanish Fork High School, former Dawn, and just for the record, they have the best swag there. Like
Yeah.
all my kids, I think, are going to get Dawn's hoodies this year. Like
Oh, I love that.
I was just looking at all the selection, like this is so fun.
Yeah,
The school's
it's
amazing.
nice.
It really is.
an awesome school. I actually picked up one day of substitute teaching before I left.
Oh, yeah?
What, Natasha?
Yeah, so I sat in a history class and I just love to experience like the students in the classrooms, and I actually got to know the school a little bit
Yeah.
better. So yes, it's a fantastic school.
Fun school.
We have many wonderful guests to talk with. Let's get the chatter started. If you attend one of the many events held at the Senior Center, chances are that you'll get a big Southern greeting from our first guest. Let's welcome Jan Carlisle, our Queen of the South, to the table.
Thank you. It's
Welcome,
good to be here.
Jan.
Thank you.
Now you guys should know Jan is my very favorite because she's from the South, and I always ask her things like manners. She taught me manners, like from manners. They do like manner school there.
Etiquette, yes.
Yeah, but we gotta
etiquette school, yes.
We're gonna say where you're from, so you can tell us where you're from.
Okay. I'm from LaGrange, Georgia. It's a little town about 45 minutes southwest of Atlanta, near the Alabama line, but we don't talk about Alabama. The SEC rules in the South, so, do Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee,
Okay, and how long
In
did you
that
live
order.
in Georgia?
all of my life.
All of your
I
life?
was born and raised in Georgia.
Yes.
And what brought you here?
Kids and grandchildren.
Oh, okay.
They all moved
Yeah,
and you
and
moved
the
with
mountains.
them. Excellent.
So when you
Yeah.
were in Georgia, is that when you did etiquette school?
Yes. Well, I did it in Georgia and Kentucky, but I've done it.
Okay, and is that while you're like a preteen, a teenager, an adult? Like at what age do people do that?
Adult. I was, yeah.
Really?
But I taught. Is that what you're talking about? Teaching?
Well, no. When did you
took
go?
When you learned, when did you learn about?
from my mother. I mean, I started learning
Yes,
when I
ma'am.
was a wee child, and you just learn bread and butter notes. You never send a dish back empty. It has to have a thank you note, handwritten.
Oh, okay.
And it has to have something in it.
Okay,
So-
but then wouldn't it be better for them to at least get the dish back, even
well,
if it's empty?
You gave the dish back.
No, but I'm saying if someone never can get the thank you card and a treat on the dish, wouldn't it at least be good to get the dish back?
It would be. But in the
They're
South,
going to be
They do
exchanging
it.
forever and ever.
They
Thank
do
you,
it
thank
a
you, thank you,
certain
thank you, thank you.
no, yes, that's true. But it's called bread. Well, my mother called them bread and butter thank you notes. That you always. She really believed in thank you notes. That was the.
I love
I
Okay,
love
tell
thank
us
you
a
notes
few
also.
more of those things that we should, as
Etiquette.
ladies,
Yeah, in a different era, when I was in high school, I remember my English teacher would bring in beautiful cards, blank cards, and teach us the verbiage of how to write a thank you card, how to accept an invitation, and how to decline one. But you don't have that. But that was just part of the.
I think we should bring
Oh,
that
but
back.
we need
Oh,
that.
We should
I'm
bring that
still a
back.
big card writer. I write letters. Go to the post office when they have new stamps in. So,
But you take it a step further because she illustrates her own cards.
No
she is an
way.
artiste
yes.
in
I
many
did.
ways.
Yes, I had a line of cards that started out when I was doing a fundraiser for a heart association at a hospital in Nashville. And I would let people put a thumbprint, then I would draw something around it. And these were ladies, so I thought, what can I do? I can't do little cartoon figures. So I did ladies in big hats, and it just had red lipstick, which is kind of my signature.
That's her signature.
And they had the red lipsticks and the big hats.
The fancy
and
hats.
so everybody liked them so much and said, will you do me 6 or do you do me? So I did a set, then had them printed and gave them as gifts. So
Are you still
They're
selling
awesome.
them?
I do.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they're so cute, you guys.
So we need to go to the
So
senior
cute.
center, maybe? Is that what has expanded
Yes.
your world, or what have you loved about that?
Well, when I moved here, my daughter saw the senior center van, and she mentioned, and I thought, I am much too young to be going to the
That's
senior
what
center.
my mom and mother-in-law are saying, and they shouldn't.
And then I broke down one day and went. It was on a Wednesday. Nobody was there. There was 2 people there. But they were so nice and so welcoming. And they were having a board meeting, and Verna Jo came out, and I met her, our director. And it was just a one feeling. And so I'll try it. I'll try it once. So I went once.
I'm you. I'm a one trier.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
I'll give it a shot.
Uh-huh.
But then I fell in love with it. People were so warm. It was my generation. The food was wonderful. It's gotten better through the years.
It's really so good.
Now it is amazing.
Is it?
All the little extra touches.
Have you added some of your Southern charm to the food or the
Oh,
items?
yes, because we did an activity, the horse
We
race.
did the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah,
I want to go.
It was
Yes,
so
we
fun,
had-
and she had scratch
We
offs.
made hats for everyone. We ordered bow ties for the gentlemen. We
It was so fun.
Because I had been to the Kentucky Derby, so I knew the food. We had mock mint juleps. We crushed the mint right out of Verna Jo's garden. She brought, and we crushed that. You had to bruise it and put it in the bottom of the. You don't say crush, you say bruise. You bruise it and put it in the bottom. And then
I didn't know you bruised mint.
But it was such a hit. The food, we had the food like they do at the Derby. And roses, they had decorated, Verna had decorated everything with red roses, which is Run for the Roses, you know. We even watched it on TV, and I printed out the racing form. I was on the phone to people in Kentucky the night before.
It was
who had been drunk.
To make it just
So-
right.
It felt real. We were really at the Kentucky Derby.
We had the racing forms, and we had everything. It
You
was
could have the
wonderful.
little
And that's
divots
just-
to go stomp back
Money
in
was
with your
being bet left
fancy
and right. No,
heel.
just kidding.
We had Dan Fogelberg singing "Run for the Roses." You know, we did everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that
it
is
but that's just
fantastic.
one little small part of things
Yeah.
that go on at the center. I mean,
Which
it's-
as I'm listening to you, that's so cool because all of us, I would guess, have not been to the Kentucky Derby, but to go and have different
That's right.
experiences of all different kinds when you go to the senior center is
Exactly.
one of the reasons you should join.
Absolutely.
Right?
Because there is something for everyone. You
Right.
know, there's some people that's not their thing, but there's something there for everyone. I mean, all the ages of getting older. You know, we have our oldest is 103, but
my
we have a
goodness.
table of nifty 90s.
Okay.
That we
So
honor.
we're close. We could maybe come soon. If we get enough Southern
Listen,
charm
we
under our
love-
belts.
We love to have people come, especially younger people. We have a lot of young people that come and volunteer, and so it's a fun place. And the food is absolutely wonderful.
So the
And our
food, the,
director-
Yeah.
the
I put
activities,
food,
what
The
else?
re-
people.
I think the top to me is the director, Verna Jo, puts
So
everything
sweet.
she has into it. I mean, she does so many things that most of the members really don't realize she does.
Yeah.
But she, just like when we were talking about the Kentucky Derby, you're not saying, and she was on board with everything. And when you have a partner like that working, it makes it easy. We have the Mother's Day luncheon with Battenberg lace parasols, and we have all kinds of things. But then the food, the camaraderie, the music. There's always some kind of entertainment from nursery school children up there to elderly people that will just get up there and play the piano and play beautifully. At Christmas, we had Verna Jo had a harpist in, and it was lovely. It was just charming and lovely, and it was just it just gives you a warm feeling. And you walk in and you see smiles. You see smiles, and you feel the warmth. And so I think the warmth, the director, the food, the warmth, the music, the camaraderie, the
Just
smiles.
something for everyone. Yeah, I loved how you said that. Yeah.
Hey, we'll put down
6 or 7.
Well, and really, it's not just, I mean, when people think of the senior center, they're like, oh, well, I'm not old enough. But I'm like, but are you old enough to socialize, to want to have fun, to want to experience different things and make friends? I'm not a senior citizen. I've gone down there so many times between volunteering and going with Kevin, and I love it. These are my favorite people.
Well, and we love to see people that are not seniors yet, but will be one day. You know, I want to compliment the city of Spanish Fork too, because this is a jewel in our community to have a spot where elderly people can get together. That it's like all of a sudden we're transported. We're saying the Pledge of Allegiance. We're, you know, the veterans are saluted. I mean, it's just a warm, welcoming, fun place for senior citizens to get out to be a part of something, and it just, I think it benefits the community and it benefits every senior citizen. And we have a lot of young senior citizens that come around the 60 years old. That, you know, we have a lot that's they're on out, 55 to 60. So we have something, and I think y'all would love to come to our parties.
I usually go like twice a year, and I find I need to go more because it is so much fun. It really is a fun place.
That's nice to hear younger people say that, because that's what the aim is.
There's just cool people there.
So when do you guys hold events? If we were to tell the audience when they should show up or what's going on
Well,
when?
we usually have a big Valentine dance. There's a group, the volunteers, I have to back up. One of the big things at the Senior Center, the volunteers, we have exceptional. And one of the committees put on, like we have a huge Valentine dinner dance. We have a Christmas, and Verna Joe probably could fill you in on all the other things I'll probably forget, but the Valentine is a big one. And then we have the Christmas event, dance and dinner. And so there's several big things like that, but at Halloween, I mean, the costumes are amazing.
They are.
Because
They're so fun.
It's almost like your age has been lifted. You just can put them. They will come in with some of the funniest costumes.
And then they have their own little parade, just like
we have, and then when they come around, they get a candy bar, and we parade. We have Easter. We have Hat Day. People wear funny hats. We have Disney Day. We have Elvis Day.
Oh my!
I'm a big Elvis
You
fan.
sound like a lot of fun and a huge asset.
I know.
Sadly,
Thanks for
we're out of
coming
time, so you'll have to come back and visit us another time.
All right.
Jan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We've heard the term Meals on Wheels for a long time, but what does that mean? Let's find out. Let's welcome Jimmy Golding from the Mountain Land Association of Governments, also known as MAG, to the chatter.
Thank you so
Welcome,
much.
Jimmy.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
You're a big deal to have here.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you to say.
I just think you work. Explain to our viewers your role at MAG, because you cover a lot of different things. Then we're going to kind of hone in
Twofold,
on one.
please. Actually, yes. Define MAG and then what you do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's interesting. A lot of people know one side of MAG. Very few actually know all of what we do. So MAG does aging services, which is my realm. That's where I work. And then we also have the planning department, who helps out with like trails, and they work with the different cities and zoning and things like that. And then we also have what's called CED, Community Economic Development, and they do like small business loans and things like that. So MAG is actually quite broad in what we do.
It's just not Meals on Wheels.
No.
Okay,
no,
all right.
Meals on Wheels is just one program within our whole aging department.
Okay.
So even in just our aging, we do quite a bit more.
So
than just
let's hear
Meals on
about
Wheels.
a little bit of all the departments before we go into Meals on Wheels?
Yes.
Because that's what we had some questions about.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be honest with you. I don't know the planning department and CED nearly as much as I do aging.
No, the aging, that's what I want to hear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So we have, I'm going to start with Friendly Callers. So this is a program where if there is a lonely senior, somebody who's a little isolated and needs some type of interaction or friendship, we provide them a volunteer. And this can be anybody, you know, it doesn't have to be another senior or just somebody that is willing to call, and they just build a relationship with each other. And it's actually really cool, you know, because they'll make these phone calls, and it's actually really fun when you get another isolated senior and they start to build this friendship together because it's just a phone call, you know, and so they get to build that relationship and that rapport with each other without having to leave their home. That's one of my favorites. I really like that one.
And easy.
It is. It is. We also have what's RSVP, that's Retired Senior Volunteers. And what they do is they will go help kids read in schools, or they'll help at the Red Cross or Meals on Wheels. All sorts of different areas in the community. And it's actually really cool there too, because we just ask that they give us their time and we'll help them find a place that is looking for volunteers. So we'll help them find a home.
It's a great way to give them value, because I think sometimes as people age, they're like, well, what is even my purpose? Like, I'm done working, my family's grown up, what do I do now? And so to give them opportunities like that is just fantastic.
Yeah, well, and it's that companionship and that connection to the community. Right? I mean, that's actually really, really important for people as they start to transition to this time of life, still having a purpose, you know, feeling like they are valuable to their community around them. And so it's a really cool opportunity for them.
And how do you know who needs that phone call? How is that connection all made?
Yeah, so we have, you know, obviously more programs, and throughout, you know, the community, we go and we visit with these people in their homes, and we get to know what their needs are. And so like for Meals on Wheels, for example, we will sit down and do an assessment with them and ask them about their health, their nutrition, you know, kind of get to know them a little bit. And while we're doing that, a lot of times it comes out that, you know, I'm kind of isolated. You know, I don't really have family or friends that come around and visit me very often. You know, and so that's when it kind of cues us, oh, hey, you know, what do you think about Friendly Callers? You know,
I can put you on this little list.
Do people request a female or male friendly caller?
They do. They do. Yeah.
So if an old lady is like, well, I'd really like a male caller.
Yeah. We
One
try
with
and-
Southern
we try and
charm.
pair them together.
Well,
Jan, we have a lady for you that can make some phone calls.
So I have to tell you, ladies, so when Jan was talking about being a Southern belle there, so I actually lived in Alabama.
She said we don't talk about Alabama.
it's like Bruno, you don't talk about it.
So we won't talk about football. It's fine.
Politics and football.
Let's go back to Meals on Wheels. How would one qualify?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great question. So somebody who is 60 years or older and homebound.
Okay.
And we kind of clarify homebound as somebody who can't leave home without aid.
Okay.
So somebody else coming to help them, pick them up, take them to the store, the doctor, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Are these kind of the same lists? I mean, these seem like defined lists, like even for the friendly phone calls. Is that list coming from like maybe Social Security list numbers, reports that,
Yes,
you
are
know,
they
how do you
calling
know?
in to your program and that's how they do, or is there another organization that's reaching out to you to contact
so
these?
It's actually a lot of word of mouth.
Okay.
You know, I mean, Meals on Wheels is a pretty common, you know, program that people have heard of, you know, and a lot of people actually have a connection to it, whether it's their grandparents or their parents. And so we actually get a lot of people who are just reaching out, either themselves or a family member who is looking to get some services. But we also have a lot of community partners. You know, and we help each other quite a bit, you know, so like if I know somebody needs to go get some extra food boxes or things like that, you know, we'll send them to Tabitha's Way or the food bank and make sure they're getting their whole needs met, you know, not just one of them.
And do the people that are receiving those meals, do they pay anything for them?
They don't.
Okay.
No. So this is a free program. It's all intended for just those who have a need, right? So something that we say quite a bit is that food is medicine, and so is companionship. You know, because what Meals on Wheels really is doing is providing both of those.
Right.
Right. We're providing that nutritious meal to make sure that they're staying healthy, but 60% of the clients we have, the only person they see every day is our volunteer.
Wow.
You know, and let that settle in for a second.
Yeah.
You know, and then on top of that, there's actually a study done recently that said somebody who is isolated, you know, for a whole day, that is pretty much as unhealthy as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day.
That's
So
true.
I mean,
I believe that.
it is very important to have that social connection as well as the nutrition. And so what Meals on Wheels does is really it's providing that connection to the community.
Right.
So
It's
both,
a lot more.
in both ways, it's
Yeah.
socially and with food. So then you'd need drivers for that.
Yeah.
So who are your drivers? How does
Yeah.
that work?
That, again, great question. So anybody who is 18 years or older, we have them come in and they can drive for us. So we have 400 plus volunteers that deliver these meals throughout our region. And what they do is it's just an hour a week. You know, so we assign to a specific day and a specific area, and they will actually do that exact same route every week. So they get to know the people, they start to build that relationship, you know, and that's kind of the really great part about volunteering, right? Is they get to actually see these individuals and the effect that they're having. You know, my very first job at MAG was the volunteer coordinator. And so I got to pair these volunteers who honestly, they're just doing this out of the kindness of their heart, right? They just want to be a part of this, you know, and then these clients, these older adults who just have a need, right? They understand that, you know, they need a little bit of extra help. And then these volunteers just get to walk into their life and be like, hey, I love you, you know, here I
so
am,
awesome.
you know, so it's actually really, really special time.
Yeah,
I
because
really
you
do
never
love that.
know. You never know. Even with drivers, they could need that
Yeah.
connection too. I mean, we're seeing
Absolutely.
lots more loneliness, not just for older people, but across the board.
Yeah, well, and it's not even just age specific, right? I mean, so we have quite a range. You know, we have BYU and UVU, you know, in our area. So we get a lot of students, but we also get stay-at-home moms, and we get retired people. You know, we get pretty big gamut of individuals who want to help.
But I love that amount of time. Like you can do 1 hour, one day a week, right? When you think about, delivering these meals and connecting, it's like that 1 hour that you can give to those people. Like that just simplifies it. That's really a beautiful way of doing it.
Because it's just that 1 hour, there really is very few people who can't participate in some way or another. You know, and that makes it possible so that whoever has that interest can get involved, and we like that.
We could
To
spend so
that
much
point,
more time.
right, to wrap it up here, if anybody wants to get involved with it, what's the best way to reach out?
Yeah, absolutely. So they can go to our website, Meals on Wheels, Summit, Utah, and Wasatch. If they just Google that, they'll find us.
Okay.
The website itself is mowsuw.org.
Okay.
And they'll find us, or they can just call us,
Okay.
and we will help them out.
Oh,
So,
thanks,
Love that.
Jenny, for
Thank you
sharing
so
that
much.
message.
thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Imagine that you get an invitation to join a club, but you really don't think you belong in that group. Well, that's kind of how most people feel when they get invited to join the Senior Citizen Center. Let's welcome Cheryl and Steve Leifson to the table.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Now, well, before we even start, I remember you saying that you weren't going to ever be on this show or come and join us if there weren't cookies
That's
involved.
Oh, look at that. And let's go ahead and have some.
So there's your cookie, right?
Okay.
Be careful what you
You
wish
can even
for.
eat it with a fork.
Are they all
yeah,
the
no
same?
P, are they all the same, or should I open up both boxes?
They're different.
They're different.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness, I think you need some of all of them.
I know, I'm like, I
Okay,
need to
pick your
just
favorite for now.
show- Look at that.
I mean, let's
I
be
feel
honest.
like I need a knife to like, you know.
Ladies, pick out your favorite.
No,
cookie,
you
then
go,
whatever's
Mayor.
left,
You
I'll
are
have.
here.
gosh.
Cheryl?
Oh, there's plenty. Which one
You're
do you
the
want?
celebrity here. You pick
Want
yours
the
first.
Lemon. Okay. Which one do you want?
You know,
Chocolate.
I've never met a cookie I didn't like.
I'm kind of the same
I'm
way.
going to try this one.
Okay.
Ooh, that
looks
looks like
kind
a
of
cookies
Oreo.
and
That
cream.
is.
Like an Oreo.
Yeah,
Look at us just talk about cookies. Okay,
Right.
as we're talking about cookies, tell us what you two have been up to.
Since you retired, Mayor Leifson,
Oh my heavens. Well, we served a 6-month mission down in Texas, Fort Worth area, and we worked with young single adults there. We've been to Iceland with our
Oh wow.
with Steve's brothers and sisters.
Yeah, we've had a.
Was it so fun?
It was.
But Iceland is more green, right? And Greenland is.
I was to say,
more
those are two very
icy.
different
They're
extremes.
very- yeah.
Right.
And see,
And we
I-
went the end of August, so it was nice.
It was nice. And
We're cutting them.
I was there 10 years ago.
10?
We did a sister city with Westman Island, so I got to see a lot of the mayor back then and a lot of good friends there, so it was fun. It was great to bring all my siblings to go with us. So it was fantastic.
so did you guys join the senior center? That's why we kind of pulled you guys in today. Did you join before you were mayor, during your
I think they
time,
joined
or
it before it was
after?
cool. And then it became cool.
Oh.
Is that right?
I thought it was more after our mission.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
Okay.
we used to go down to the senior center as the mayor and council and serve, every once in a while. But I don't know if I officially joined the senior
Until more
center.
recently.
yeah, it was
Do you
after our
have to
mission.
join?
Yes.
There's
do.
a membership.
You get a membership card?
Yeah.
So what
You
made
get
you,
a name badge.
you guys
Okay.
want to join?
We still wanted to be a part of the city. We still wanted to be involved. We worked with young single adults, so now time to
Okay.
work with seniors.
Yeah, we went from one gamut to the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but no, Spanish Fork. I love Spanish Fork. I always want to be part of Spanish Fork, and so, that was I always said after we get done with being the mayor and all that we need to be involved, and. Of course, I came kicking and screaming. Cheryl was more the one that wanted to go to senior citizen. So
Yeah, so what was your reason
Yeah.
not to get involved? Why were you kicking and screaming?
We want to know if everyone's
Considered a
reason is
senior?
the same.
Is that what it
because
was, Mayor?
I was a younger.
Okay.
It just seemed to me.
No one's old enough, right?
Yeah.
That's everyone's excuse
And,
or their reason.
Yes,
I'm not
it
old
is.
enough.
Or it makes you feel like all of a sudden you've aged into a place of what?
Did they mention what the average age of
No, tell us.
Well, I'm guessing that it's got to be around 88 is what I'm guessing, because we have May that's 103.
Oh
and-
my goodness.
Well, yeah, May kind of pulls that number up, right?
And so we're
No,
probably.
actually, she is young at heart.
Yes, she is.
Have you ever
She
been
is.
around?
She gets up and dances, and I'm like, she's
Recites
100.
poetry.
Yeah, yeah,
She's it all.
yeah.
She really is. And so we're probably the youngest ones there. And so, I thought, I don't want to do that. But I have to be honest with you, after going kicking and screaming, after going all this time, I look forward to go and enjoy going to, because we've developed a good relationship with all the seniors there. And the food's good. Here again, feed me, I'll be there.
When the food is good.
They must have cookies
Let's
for
ask you, what are your
Yes.
top 5 things about the senior center?
That you love.
Food.
Yeah, you eat.
And the people,
Steve's
it
is
sounds like.
food. I think his second is food.
Friendships, maybe.
Well, we're not real involved in the activities, but like the membership dinners on Fridays or the membership lunches.
Okay.
And then, of course, we just went to the Valentine's Sweetheart Dance. He goes kicking and screaming to that, too, I'll just tell you.
And she even got me up to dance.
I did.
Did.
I was just going to say,
Even
did
with
you
a
dance?
sore knee, I got him. So,
Yeah.
and I think just the association more than anything. I don't go to a lot of the Tai Chi, the rock painting, the bingo,
Or the ceramics.
or the ceramics.
Darn.
No.
You don't play pool downstairs?
No, I haven't got down there yet.
Okay, then I have a question. How do you guys feel about moving
Yeah.
to Fit City over
Oh, we're
in
so
this
excited.
fall. You
That'll
are.
be the best.
Yes. I mean, you think about it. Maybe there'll be some water yoga for us. Maybe there'll be some weight training for us. Maybe there'll be indoor track.
Meet your friends and walk the track after
that'd
lunch.
be
It just
nice,
opens up
Work
so
that
many
lunch
avenues.
off.
All
I
of
feel
it.
like having
Go
it
have a
there.
meal or go walk and then go have a meal
Yep.
before or after.
I think it'll be just kind of a real cool, and it'll also be a good selling point for, probably for people
Younger.
like us that want to come, you know,
Okay.
say, hey, we got it down there at Fit City Center, you know, come and enjoy all this other stuff.
The
You don't
youngest-
have to paint rocks, you don't have to play bingo,
But you
can go do all
can
the
if
other
you
stuff.
want.
You can if you
still
want.
can, yes.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm coming late to the game. Was that part of the plan original, like always along? Okay, I didn't know that all along.
So the senior
Okay.
center is connected to the rec
Okay.
center.
Yeah, that was
I
always,
love that.
even before that was
Okay.
always
Yeah.
what we were
Okay.
going to do.
And one thing we really enjoy is at least once a month, if not more, city council members and Parks and Rec leaders come in and they'll show us a video, like they've shown us a video of what the Fit City Center will be like.
Okay.
And they'll answer questions. Not only that, but they'll stay to the end and answer one-on-one.
Well, let's give credit to Kevin Euler on that.
Yeah,
He's the
definitely
council
Kevin's.
rep over that, and he loves it. We got new assignments, or switched a couple assignments around at council on Tuesday night, and he literally said, "Never take me off the seniors." Like,
Well, I think there would be an uprising at the senior center as well.
Yes, I
Like
think
they
love him.
They do. They love him.
and you've been so busy now that you can't go, and I know you're
know.
sad. Like
I
you
know.
love them.
I know. It'll come back. I only have a few more months, then I'm done.
Okay.
And then I can come back.
One of the best things Kevin just shared with us is that, you know, a lot of us on our Medicare, we get silver sneakers.
Silver sneakers.
Or mine doesn't
yeah?
say that. Mine
Okay.
just says I can take classes. Like I could take a yoga class and it would pay for it. I could do golfing, it would pay for it. So Kevin told all of us as seniors that would pay our membership. And so everybody was just ecstatic.
that
that's
is.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So there's those
really
perks
awesome.
by going and learning, and I think it's always scary to go do something new for the first time. So if you're at the senior center for your first time, going over to the rec center is just going to feel natural.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, if you're at the rec center, you're like, I'm going to wander over and check out the senior center.
right.
So it's good. And I'll tell you what, we've probably got the best senior center in the state, you know, because there are so many people there, and it's so well run, and people enjoy coming, you know. In fact, if you don't get there early, you don't get a seat. You
I
know?
love that.
And so it's
And there's
great.
no social distancing. I mean, Steve can be there, and all of a sudden, someone's got one of those roller things, rollering it on his back, and there's lots of hugs and lots of giggles, and
Yeah.
I love that. Just
People
connection.
just
That's
be
what they need.
themselves.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what
that
we
connection's
need.
super important.
That's
Yeah,
what
and
everyone
especially
does.
for the senior citizens, they need that.
Right.
You know, and they can associate and get out and be part of the community and be part of a group, and look forward to something twice a week.
Well, I think it's really nice to see two familiar faces that people know and love, to be a part of that. And like, if they're there, oh, that gives me, you know, someone that I might be able
cooler
to.
is what
and
I think.
cooler.
It makes it cooler.
Because you guys are the cool kids.
Mayor Lakeson
They
and his
might
wife
not
are
serve
going.
cookies all the time, but you
No,
should
but-
certainly be
He can maybe
there
change
all the
that.
time. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, for the most part, I'll tell you what, the food has been delicious.
It's so good.
It really, and for the price, you can't beat it. And so,
very balanced and
Yep.
and a lot.
yeah.
Well, I will
I wanna
challenge
come
you
for the
then to
food.
get on your social media and you invite everybody to the senior center. And
Yeah.
maybe you'll bring them to the fold, right?
That's right.
Challenge accepted.
Well, love seeing you too. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Enjoy your
And thanks
cookies.
Thanks for
the
inviting, and
goodies.
thanks for the goodies.
Yes, let's
Yeah,
have a
that's
cookie.
Yes.
I love the cookies.
Pete.
It takes a rare and determined person to manage a senior citizen center, and that's exactly who Spanish Fork has had for the past 9 years. Let's welcome Verna Jo Hollingshead to the conversation.
Welcome, Verna.
I just feel like we should clap and congrats.
You've heard some
lucky
praises
you are.
through our
Yes.
show, haven't you?
You are definitely
I got a little
celebrity.
emotional because my life's goal has been to love people.
Yeah.
It really has.
Yeah.
And what a better place to do that than the senior citizens center.
Oh, they are
Sorry to get so
they are
emotional.
so grateful for the way that you love them, though, Verna. I mean,
It's
it's
been
not
fun.
just, it is in every way. It is in, you're making it beautiful there. It's in the feeling, the way you talk to people, the things that you guys create, just the atmosphere.
Well, it certainly does take a whole team. And when I got to the senior center, there were 65 volunteers.
Oh,
Can
wow.
you ladies believe that?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it really does take a village to raise a community.
So you have been the director for 9 years. Were you just going before that just for the lunch?
Well, I actually was over at the Springville Senior Citizen Center. I co-directed over there
Oh,
for
okay.
10
So you
years.
had some
Oh,
And then she
experience.
repented of her ways and came to spend
Yes, I'm very open about repentance.
Okay, so you had some experience and came
Yes,
over here and
yes.
became the director.
Yes. I'd like to tell you a little backstory, though.
Yeah.
So I was raised in American Fork, but my father was raised in Lehigh. And my grandmother Adams had one of the first nursing homes in Utah, and it was back in the 50s.
Wow.
So I come by it naturally of
Yes,
loving
you
on
do.
people.
So did you go to that nursing center?
I did. I helped
Okay.
my grandma a lot. And
So
back
you have
then, there
memories.
wasn't an age, there weren't requirements. But anyway, fast forwarding, yes, I was over at Springville for 10 years. And then I remember calling the city and saying, hey, do you think that position will come up? And bless Joyce Webb's heart. And she did a fabulous job. So did Dixie. They had a great crew there then. But then little Joyce got sick. And so anyway, the rest
And
is
then
history.
you got it.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to hear some of the fun things you do down there.
Well, like the Southern Belle Jan said, we just try to do a lot of special events, and it does take a team effort to do special events, and we have some informative classes. There's lots of talented people down there that share their talents.
So what has been some of your favorite activities or people that have come over the years?
Just the different talents and sharing the camaraderie. I'll tell you one of my most favorite things is what every single meal we say the Pledge of Allegiance. I love that.
I do love that.
You know, I was raised, in the 50s, 60s, 70s. Yes, I'm very old. And I just love doing the Pledge of Allegiance. And it's just a natural thing for us.
Yeah.
All of the people there, really, there's a lot of wisdom down there. I try to listen a lot. Over the years, I've just learned a lot from a lot of the people that come in there, and it's true. A lot of people will say, I'm not old enough to go there. And you have to validate, you probably really aren't old enough to come here. But I liked how you brought up earlier about thinking outside of the box, of just coming and having fun, doing different activities. Yeah, we did a big masquerade ball. We had Phantom of the Opera.
We did. It was a surprise visit.
It was. And Councilman Euler dressed up as Phantom.
He
and
was
it was
Phantom.
fabulous.
And he's the Grinch. My gosh, is that his
He's
job?
also the Easter Bunny as well.
I never want that role then. That's part of the council role, dressing up.
He does a great job. But really, I think it's, are you old enough to have fun? Are you old enough
I like
to make
how you
new
approached it
friends?
that way.
Are you
That is
old
really
enough
true.
to be part of something? But we get this label in our heads about, oh, you have to be this like old and have nothing else in your life, when this is like such a fun part of life to enjoy.
Yes, it is.
And
It
maybe
is.
you can be that something for someone else down there.
Right.
Maybe they need you.
Right. What if you bring the value to seniors? What if there's, like Jan, we love having Jan and her talents, and everybody has talents that they can share.
The unknown is not really easy. It's scary. And so just trying to get people out there, and I liked how you said you were going to bring your mother and father in.
Mother and mother-in-law, yes.
Right, because that will make them feel comfortable. People know you there. People know you there. When you bring those people in, it makes them feel comfortable. They get a feel for it, how easy it is, that no one's really put on the spot.
Yeah.
It's just.
How many members are there? Do you know?
Well, I think that there's probably right now approximately 215.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
215.
And that's the total membership.
Right. So there's two different things. When Jimmy was talking about meals, you do not have to be a member to have a meal.
Okay.
If you want to
okay.
participate in the activities, Tai Chi, or Zumba classes, a lot of those things require a membership. We have a not during the winter, but when it's really nice weather outside, I have a adventure club that we do once a month. We have a luncheon club once a month for the ladies. We have had one gentleman that has come and
Luncheon meaning going out?
going out.
Okay.
Yes, a
So
luncheon
field
club.
trips. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you, if I remember correctly, there's even a bus that you.
Well, we
you
have
can,
two little minivans.
Okay.
We actually have that 33 passenger.
Okay.
And Gary Ride from Salem is our CDL driver.
Okay.
And he also drives for Neville School District.
Oh.
So he's not really always available. But Gordon Orr drives one of the minivans and I drive the other. So
I love it.
and each van accommodates 9 senior citizens.
Okay.
11 city council youth. I was trying to make a joke out of that.
Yeah.
Just so we can kind of spread out. But and that's another thing. We love that the city youth come in and they do a lot for us. So when we do we did a masquerade ball, we did the Valentine's dance, the Christmas dinner, entertainment, the city youth council comes in
Yeah.
and helps us. And they are so darling. They will get a lot of our seniors and get them out there on the dancing floor.
It's so cute.
It is.
I love it.
And it's just precious how that they incorporate each other and encourage each other and the smiles of the senior citizens to feel a value that the city youth is very good.
Brenda Jo, we only have a minute left. I want to hear about your show. The seniors, is it a senior citizen show that you
Yes.
run? Yeah, tell us about that.
So each morning at 9:30 on Channel 17, Pete runs a little segment. It's like a 30-minute program. And it is, we have Beverly on there. She does jokes. We have Heather Ainge is on there. She is our medical person that will give some health issue or addresses health issues
Okay.
or gives a lot of the seniors ideas, and we'll have just different, like Jan's been on there. She will tell,
okay.
she tells short stories.
Tips.
And it's just really, we were trying to figure out a way that we could hit the homebound
Yeah.
and bring a little smile. And also a good little advertisement for the senior center of coming in. That since our new kitchen management has come in, they do a little appetizer hors d'oeuvre thing. Which, a lot of my age group, we're like, wow.
That's fancy.
I know, that is
To
fancy.
come just for the food.
Yeah,
It's seriously
Is
so
50,
It is
is
fabulous.
50 in age?
I have to tell you though, the food at the senior center, anyone who's ever lived here in Spanish Fork and gone to the senior center, always has known that Spanish Fork Senior Center has always been known for their food. But anyway, I'm glad you brought that up.
Maybe you should open a restaurant there too.
I think we
right?
should.
Thank you so much.
Berna,
Love
you're a
having you.
treasure.
Thank
Treasure
you.
for the
Thank
city.
you.
Thank you
Thank
for all
you.
that you do.
This was kind of fun, learning about our very active senior population. Who's ready to join?
Me.
Okay, we're in.
For the food.
I mean, I guess
the
just for
food
the
for
food,
sure.
right? Food,
Yes.
friends, fun.
Community.
Yes.
Community.
Connection.
Connection.
What a fun show. This was a good
All the
idea.
things, yes.
This was a
It was
good
a
Love
idea.
that.
great idea. And we're almost, okay, we're not almost there, but yes, we're almost there.
Yeah, we're
There'll be
getting
a day
close.
when I'm there that I want a group of friends or a place to go when my kids are out and
Well, I
not
think
wanting
you-
to be with me anymore, right?
If you can make it I think it's just the mindset, right? So if you change it to be cool and
It's the country club.
Exactly. Yes,
Yes.
the appeal. Because once you're in, I guess you never not want to leave, right?
Well, and call a neighbor, a sister, a friend, and have them go with you. Your spouse, if you're single, just
And the meals are free.
down there and
He
meet
did
them.
mention that, but it's more than just the meals. It's the activities, it's the friendships. You can do all of the add-on type stuff, the Tai
Yeah.
Chi, the exercise.
Very affordable.
Yep, love it.
And how much is the membership? Do you know?
I was going to ask, and I don't know.
I thought it was around 25 the last time I knew, but it could be different.
Like
But
a
around
month?
that. No. It's like I
Annually.
think that's their one-time annual fee.
I think it went up a little bit, but maybe
It could've,
35.
but around that.
So-
But the thing of it is, you guys, that our senior center is really awesome. Even when you compare to other cities, there
Okay.
are people from other cities that come to our senior center. that are not even residents of Spanish Fork because they love it.
I'm not surprised.
So it's not just about like, oh, it's a senior center, you know. It's like, this is really truly a fun senior center. There's awesome people, and the food is great. The activities are unique. I mean, I think they even won an award at one of the conferences.
Parks and Rec conferences,
because
yeah.
of the Kentucky Derby activity. Like, it was so unique and fun.
Right. Well, I was just going to say, like, you have an outsider per se, like Jan moving in from out of state, and just saying immediately felt the warmth and the friendships, and you know.
Yeah, and they're
Started
moving all the
showing.
things from the current senior center over to the new one when it opens in the fall. So they'll take those things and incorporate it in. It's just because it's a new building doesn't
love
mean
that.
it's going to
So
be
they'll have
out
the
with
piano.
the old.
Well, but
Yes,
they needed
yes.
a bigger space. Think of that, like 200, over 200, and that grew in not that, I mean, we were like, I wanted to say like 125 for like a little while, and then it just exploded.
Right.
It was just like
Yeah.
tons and tons of people.
And the
in last
seniors
few
now
years.
aren't like the seniors. Like, I remember my grandma at my age right now, and I thought
Yes.
she was so old.
And now we're
but
like
she
kinda
didn't
cool and hip.
move a lot. Like,
Right.
I am like out running around with my grandkids. What I'm saying is, seniors, it's not the senior
It's a
of
different.
yesterday.
It's a different senior
They're
for
more
sure.
active.
Let's relabel it, right?
Yeah.
Active seniors.
I want to label it Senior Country Club, okay?
That's
The
a good
Senior
one.
Country Club.
And I
what
want
they
to
are.
just give a shout out to Meals on Wheels. My grandma passed away 25 years ago, and she did Meals on Wheels before she passed.
Okay.
And she lived up in Sandy, and I was down here. And it was so comforting for me to know that every day someone would be checking in on her and that she would get a meal, a warm meal delivered. And a lot of seniors don't eat that whole meal at that lunch
At that
time.
time, yeah.
It's, they'll eat half of it and then they have dinner. Like, that is such an important meal. It's such an important connection. So just a big shout out to Mag for doing that. After Jimmy left, I asked about donations because we asked if there's a list, a waiting list, and I think he said there's 430 people on a waiting list. So they've started a nonprofit. They're doing fundraisers. So if you have extra funds and can donate, he said to go to their website again, which is mowsuw.org, and there's a donation button. So,
All the information is here.
fun episode, friends.
It was great. And we got cookies thanks to Mayor Leeson.
Yes. And
Thanks
thank you,
to
Pete.
Thanks for being here with us. We hope you've enjoyed the conversation. If you learned something new, please tell a friend about us.